George Somi is one of our young Assyrian composers and an extremely talented composer. And whenever I hear of young Assyrian composers, of course, I'm ecstatic because I know the future looks good, because I know that they are going to continue to compose. And first of all, your musical influence, though, just goes beyond strictly Assyrian music, does it not, George?
Yes, I listen to a lot of soundtrack music, a lot of orchestral music, classical, jazz, what have you. I have the Assyrian background because my parents listen to that stuff. I don't necessarily listen to Assyrian music, but it has some influences on me. I try to make it as authentic as possible, try to mix in as much as I can. What I wanted to do was get some ancient Mesopotamian music and include that in, but I couldn't really run across any of that. I thought that would be nice, but I love harp, and I think including harp in my compositions, especially the Assyrian legacy, really has this Assyrian fling to it because the harp was a Mesopotamian instrument, and that's how the kings were listening, and I hope that the kings would enjoy the harp orchestrations that I've done. My mother told me that I should write something because I started composing, and she noticed that I was getting pretty good, and I wanted to do a long work. And so my mother said, why don't you write something about Assyrians? And I started thinking, well, I don't know, that's kind of tough. Then it kind of grew on me. I started thinking, well, what can I write about Assyrians? And I was thinking, well, we have a huge history spanning millennia. And I thought there are so many different parts to this history that I think it would make an interesting piece of music to wind together all these different kinds of themes from the ancient times to modern times, from triumph, sorrow. We've experienced it all, especially through these, 6-7 millennia. So I thought, what kind of form can I use to include this history in? I started thinking symphonies, and I started thinking to myself, I don't want to limit myself to 4 movements, which is what a traditional symphony is. And I looked at other forms, and what I decided on was the suite because it's kind of a free form, and I decided to compose the story of Assyrians through as many pieces of music as it would take, and it took 8. I was aiming for 9, but it took 8. So I didn't want to repeat myself because we've gone through a lot of sorrow in these past few millennia. So I decided to include this sorrowful, theme in 1 or 2 of the movements to keep the audience a little bit happy. I don't want to make them cry. Well, I do want to make them cry at some points, but I don't want to keep them crying. I want to give them hope. And that was my the whole underlying theme to the Assyrian legacy is this underlying hope that we have as a nation, that one day there may be an Assyria, and there may be as great as it was 3 millennia ago, 4 millennia ago, when it was at the top of the world. And that's my main theme, is hope.
George Somi, thank you so much.
Thank you.